Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second series of the day. We have got Starladder I-League Series 13, Season 13 going on for you all, and we are into the draft. We've got Stock versus NaVi, and this game is important. Whoever wins is going to be the team that moves on into the playoffs of Starladder to see who actually gets on through. So I'm excited. I hope you're all excited. I'm Llama Down Under. We're going to be joined by Corrupt Drop Bear on stats, and we've got Goodnight Dodo from team. You're a mercenary right now, right? Yeah, but a very high skill NE player who's going to be joining me since our co-caster, the previous one, PQ, is busy dying. He's coughing up a storm. I will hopefully not be doing that as I've been muting my microphone to cough. But either way, we have a draft on our hands, and I think the only thing that's surprising me here is the Ember Spirit ban out.
Turn to pick.
I feel like Matomba Man isn't on the team anymore.
NaVi's turn to ban.
Yeah. So, and we're going to be seeing that we've got Tusk, Dazzle picked up, obviously fantastic heroes, and we've seen the members of NaVi play really well with those. And also we've got Darkseer, Wyvern. So liking both of these drafts coming out already.
NaVi's turn to ban.
Tend to dual lane it against the Wyvern lane because basically when she freezes, like Dazzle is physical. So I don't know how successful they'll be if they decide to do that.
100%, and it's something where I'm wondering whether, there's still stuff like the Undying in the pool. The Spirit Breaker is banned out, but NaVi can try to run one of those really hellish lanes to go up against, or even just go for something like the Lich. It's a bit really safe with the picks they already have, but it's something where if you've got a Lich and a Tusk in your lane, your carry is maybe not getting any farm.
Yeah, and they can totally afford to do that because as much as Darkseer has a huge presence in lane, I think often it's kind of useless to be 3 because you either catch him or you don't with 2 heroes. So like having a third person is totally unnecessary. You can totally afford to be 2 in the bottom lane.
Yeah. So either way, we're going to be seeing the Gyrocopter come out, still a really popular hero these days, despite the buffs that happened in 6.85. I imagine he might not be touched so much in the upcoming patch, just because he does feel like he's in a good place. And now Stock, they've got Vacuum into potentially Winter's Curse into Cooldown, right? They've got some good stuff going on for their team fight.
Yeah, I feel NaVi might want to go with a carry that's really evasive and you don't want to fight, as here comes the Queen of Pain.
Yeah. So, Quap, hey then. Yeah, I was gonna say Quap, obviously a really strong mid laner, but Alchemist, as long as he gets that first bounty rune, gets his bottle up, he's a pain. I mean, its acid spray is gonna be down. It can even get hard to deny him if you place the acid spray just right, because you can't get near the creep wave.
Yeah, I think right now a lot of Stark's lineup will rely on the fact that they can... People of NaVi will be forced to stay where they are, so Darkseer can put enough pressure top so they can't rotate on mid. And Gyrocopter and Winter Wyvern will be good enough so that they don't need backup. And probably I think the last Dark support will just stay with Alchemist mid, stacking and protecting them.
Yeah. And I think they've got here's like Wyvern. It's something where I fully expect the whole Wyvern comes, Arctic Bones, the Queen of Pain for the first wave, just to ensure Alt gets that easy level 2, and then Wyvern goes off stacks, maybe comes back, does another Arctic Bone stacks, goes to a lane. There's a lot of options there for Stock to get up. A lot of money. The only downside I see here, though, is that if Darkseer does end up having a hard time in whatever safe lane NaVi tries to run, you have Darkseer, who will probably want some of the jungle business, which Alk, of course, has dibs on already, and then Gyro, typically a hero who you expect someone to make stacks for. So it's a little greedy from Stark.
Yeah, but I think optimally you would want Winter Wyvern guarding mid, but I don't know at this point if they'll actually be forced to put it bottom, since seems like they're gonna go either with Dazzle Starladder or Tusk Starladder in the bottom lane, which are both really aggressive heroes.
Yeah, Tusk, Slaughter, you can snowball in, Slithering, Crush, and Gyro. Yeah, he'll get off a Rocket Barrage, but with two of you there to take it, it's not as effective, and it's a bit scary, but we'll still see what's going to be that final pickup for both sides. Stock, of course, looking for a support, and Navi looking for that hard carry, hence the Jug ban out. What do you think Navi should get rid of here?
I think something that would prevent them from being...
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It's...
Reserve time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it costed that game. My only thing that would worry me there is it's so defensive, arguably, because the Dazzle can just heal. But they go with the Bane, a hero with great lockdown, or a Queen of Pain. And I'm kind of surprised that Navi banned the Jakiro over the Bane, since I do feel like Jakiro's set up, you know, you need the Yules kind of before you're going to be hitting that for sure.
Right, so it'll be interesting to see what Navi picks up right now. If
10 seconds remaining.
So, we're going to be...
5 seconds.
Also, I guess you're worried about Jakiro with a nice vacuum, right? You can maybe get a lot of work done there, which the Bane can't necessarily accomplish.
Templar Assassin.
oh no, Templar Assassin.
Yeah, and it's an interesting game for Templar Assassin here. They don't actually have a lot of lockdown, so I feel like it's something where she might be able to run a bit amok, but of course there is a Bane here, so if she's not careful, she's gonna be in a spot of trouble. And let me just fix up the overlay really quickly, folks. But yeah, we're going to be going in. It's going to be a Dendi, Templar Assassin, Dichara on the carry, Queen of Pain. Not really what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting Queen of Pain mid because she's really good against Alchemist, but I guess now with the Bane, they figured that the Bane could actually wrestle with her a bit mid and give her a lot of trouble, so they went with TA, which kind of limits Bane's ability to do anything. He has to use his sleep, which causes enormous amount of mana.
100%. So we have the immediate TP coming out of the Tusk. Seneko going to be going out, placing early wards, and we'll see what else he can get going on out there. It's actually it's gonna be this ward, so they want to make sure that Dendi has a really easy... Oh, is that blocks Ancients, or no?
Yes.
It does, it's just in the hitbox. I was worried it was it's a Vision Ward and Ancient blocker. It's okay vision, it should see ganks coming, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends. I mean, it depends. I suppose they would smoke from this side and then go like this, so I don't know how effective it'll be.
But it would stop just the potential gank coming down here. Maybe a Bane comes down, is like, hey.
I mean, they basically have to use. If they don't, it'll be known that they're coming.
Yeah, and much to everybody's chagrin, I think a lot of people were expecting it to be a Dendi quap, but it's going to be Dendi on this Templar Assassin. Let's quickly do team introductions on the lineup of stock. We've got Boogie on that Gyrocopter, Valix on the Wyvern, Bane being played up by OKCia, Doxia on Trixie, of course, and finally Alk being played by NaVi.
And for Navi, we got Artstyle on the Dazzle, meanwhile as Trixie sort of harassing Vita Ra, who's on the Queen of Pain.
The battle
begins. They're engaging for the first one.
Yeah, they're going for the snowball. The Octobone is coming up, but NaVi, he takes a huge heal bomb. Can they get the first blood? They do on Dichara, while NaVi may fall. And I mean, this is all still, who got the bounty there? They should be able to kill off Artstyle, these two ranged heroes, and it looks like the bounty wasn't gained by Alchemist, so his lane just got really rough.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 2-for-1, but you got both bounty runes and you took it away from Alchemist, so I chalk it up to pretty even, maybe a small win for NaVi, even if they lose to.
I would actually say it's a big win for NaVi because being unable to have the the bottle early out on Nempy so that when he hits that level 2 he can just spam the acid spray, it makes laning really rough. And Dendi, you can say, taking full advantage of this. He's like, look, I will smack you with my blades. But other than mid, which we'll check back on later, they end up running the Bane Gyro bottom. How do you feel this lane is going to fare against this really scary tri lane?
I think it's perfectly fine because whenever you freeze a target, like you basically take away all of Navi's damage away. Mm-hmm. So, of course, it's not going to be a pleasant lane, but I think it's a lane with a big potential for turnaround.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, we actually have them already in the snowball, and the Wyvern, he's only level 1 though, so the heal bomb should come out. The Ice Shards block, and Wyvern, Valix, goodbye. And Boogie trying to do some damage on the backlines, but Rocket Barrage so ineffective against 3 heroes. And you mentioned the Cold Embrace is going to make it fine, but the Wyvern has to hit level 2 before that's a factor.
Yeah, I really don't think you should have been that aggressive early on. I think the power of that tri-lane is basically in counter-initiating Navi mistakes of being too aggressive, but that was the complete opposite scenario right there.
Yeah. So Valak's gonna wander back to lane, and up top we have Plop versus a Darkseer. I feel like Darkseer Trixie, he's going to get quite a bit more out of this lane than maybe he would have expected against the Tri. At the same time, Dicho will have free farm and can start maybe harassing Trixie depending on how many points he puts up in that Shadow Strike.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty even lane. Both are going to get what they want out of this. Really depends on what they'll do in the mid game with what they gain. Probably the mech on Trixie and the magic damage they need to kill the bottom lane with Didera.
100%. And we could see some early rotations coming out of Quap. I would love to see that. You know, the minute Quap hits level 6, you just go for a kill. It's got a long cooldown. May as well use it early. At the same time, Boogie is doing a really nice... Oh, we have the dive coming out. Nempy's going to go down. He tried to go for the stable concoction, but Dendi with the DD, you're not getting away from that.
Yeah, he is another hero that's really helping on putting the pressure on Alchemist, even if there's a pause coming out from the slaughter.
Yeah, welcome to Dota Casting, where the games are paused and the action is packed. I don't know. So.
Well, maybe time to introduce Axmo, since he might be the lesser-known player.
Oh, yeah, so
NaVi.
We have a lot of stand-ins, just to mention. I believe NaVi's roster for Starladder, the official roster, as in the one which they can't deviate from, because there are various rules in tournaments about who has to show up. Taneko, Dendi, and Dicha Ra are on the official roster. Obviously, because Artstyle has played with them before, he's tagged up, but Artstyle and Axmo, I believe, are considered stand-ins right now. So.
All right. So that's 3/5 of the all NaVi roster, plus Didera and Axmo was actually on, I think, Big.
Yeah, there'd been a lot of Big Red Machine, also known as Walrus Punch, also known as Screen Squad.
Yeah, and before that he was on Scare.
Yeah, which just disbanded. Another reason that this game is so important here, because of the lack of scary faces. Both of these teams need this win to advance.
Alright. Then they'll actually play games for scary faces, or is the law?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why he's okay. No. That's what I mean. He's now standing in for NaVi.
Okay,
because Scary Face is out. I mean, there's a lot of mercenary Dota. We also saw the same thing in the Americas bracket, where because Cloud9 was knocked out, 1437 has been standing in for DC while they're figuring out their rosters.
Yeah, makes me remember like an older Starladder where there was this team called Super Strong Dinosaurs, which was Come With Me and I think Bone7, and then two other players from EG. Yeah. And they were winning and going to the playoffs, and then they disbanded. They were like something like 7-2, and they just disbanded. So everybody was like, why did that just happen? And nobody really understood.
It's really common in the scene, I feel, for teams to come and go. I'm actually really surprised Stalk has been sticking together despite they've been having a real rough time of it seems like, after Matumba Man left.
Yeah.
But they've been sticking together, and I like to see that in a team.
Yeah, it's fun to see. It makes you think of the old Fnatic, how long they stood together. But yeah, finally there was good reason for why that team disbanded. It was because on that team there was Zai and PPD, and they had left to become evil geniuses.
So, and yeah, they were previously playing for Scary Faces. Turns out when a team disbands, makes it easy for you to pick them up as stand-ins. Looking around, okay, so looking at these two lineups, do you have a favorite? Do you think one of these lineups is superior, or do you think there's just too much game to say?
I feel they're pretty equal. I think that's really gonna come down to a game of skill because NaVi have really good aggression, but at the same time, Stark have really good counter initiate with the Wyvern Vacuum combo. So it's all gonna roll down to the laning phase, I believe.
Yeah. And I feel like right now, I mean, it's a slight lead for NaVi. It's nothing to write home about. Anything under like, well, 500, one kill pretty much will swing that. So it's not the biggest of deals. But what I am worried about is in this tri lane, it's going to mean that a lot of these heroes are going to not be getting levels. And since it is NaVi who's getting the kills, they will end up having better levels on the Dazzle than this poor Wyvern. And Wyvern needs her level 6. I mean, there are a lot of heroes where obviously ults are fantastic, but Winter's Curse being such a powerful one, having that up is great.
Yeah. Right now, I'm not sure. They're not really stacking for now, and I'm not sure why she's staying bottom. I don't think she can do that much until she has a level 3 or 4, so maybe I think she should go rotate mid and help make stacks for the Alchemist and then come back. But I don't know, maybe start believe that at their level 3 they can start killing NaVi. So I won't doubt them here. Let's just see what happens in the polls.
It does seem rough, though. It's something where Gyrocopter, of course, known as the specialist, he can pick off one hero, but trying to use that rocket barrage into 3 when the damage is split 3 ways, it's not that great, and it's something where even if he levels it up, it's rough. So
yeah, maybe they're banking on the outplay or something. I know Valix is not leveled or level 2 yet, so maybe they're waiting for a specific opportunity to unfold.
Oh yeah, Valix actually he did hit level 2. He's doing the stack right now, but he hasn't skilled. So I wonder obviously it does feel like the Cold Embrace is really strong here because then it stopped a lot of the damage output coming out of this lane other than the Ice Shards and the Snowball, which is probably going to be used to initiate. But if he gets the Splinter Balls, they have more kill potential for themselves. So it's interesting.
Maybe he's trying to not show in the lane for a while, so that NaVi believes he's gone, or he's actually helping Orange mid. Maybe he's waiting for that moment, but other than that, I don't really see what's going on.
Now, speaking of the Alch mid, obviously dying to Templar Assassin, not what you want. Do you think he can still catch up? He's going to be an Alchemist playing from behind, partly because of missing that bounty and because he's having such a hard time in lane against Dendi.
Yeah, I mean, you can always come from behind as Alchemist. I don't think that's an issue. But a thing that early struggle will do is that Dendi at some point will probably start sacking Ancients. And as soon as he's done with his stack, they're going to take Roshan around like 13-14 minutes. And I don't think they will really be able to contest at all. He'll be busy catching up.
Yeah. And for folks who are just tuning in now, we're not quite sure why it's paused. Oh, wow. That's a win rate. 65 professional... Only 65? Really? Really? His 5th most placed hero only has 65 professional games? I'm surprised. I feel like he would have more. But maybe there's some hero he's just played like 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's a lot of games, though. A lot of competitive games.
I assumed, I could be wrong. I assumed Dendi would have something like 1,000 competitive games.
Yeah, probably something like that. But I guess it varies on the patches, and like sometimes you just see a hero a lot, so it seems like you should be picked more. But overall, like TA is sort of always. Now she's pretty strong in this meta, but from the past she was always this sort of pocket pick. No.
Wow, I'm really surprised he's under 1,000, but thank you. By the way, stats being done by Corrupt up there. Show him your love if you're enjoying that. So really nice to find out. And I also have to say, as you said, Templar Assassin, especially if you don't pick enough lockdown here against her, she can really roll over the game. And Slaughter is finally back, as FN reminds them that there are only 10 minutes of pause time. So, wow, that was 8 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are done with the pause. Hopefully, when people say ready, I'm hopeful that one day we'll get to cast some Dota. I was actually really excited for this set because this is my first time casting NaVi.
Oh. Yeah, that's the classic. I don't think, no matter how, underwhelming their performances may be, they're still going to be NaVi forever.
Yeah. They are a much beloved team, and I feel like, as you said, regardless of how they're doing, everybody likes them. So,
but I hope for them to get better and be back to their status. I think that's good for the game.
Yeah, and hopefully the roster shuffles will help them out. Now, Alk returning to the mid lane, we'll be able to see whether Wyvern, and Wyvern actually hasn't skilled, probably one of those she's deciding if there's some aggression, she might just have to skill up the Cold Embrace. But this is pretty much zoning Boogie from the lane. So, I mean, there's not much farm coming out there. Top lane is a tie, I would argue. I'm not going to even say it's a one lane for Trixie. And Trixie is going in onto DGR, trying to bring some harass there. Does start the Shadow Strike, but this means Queen of Pain doesn't have Blink, but Trixie doesn't have another Surge for 4 seconds. And with Seneko TPing in, oh goodness, he's not going to get the TP out in time. And Trixie, he goes down. It will free up space in bottom lane, but it felt like a bit of an overextension.
That's definitely gonna give Theodora the advantage as Starter's going on bottom.
Yep. They actually Cold Embrace up Valix, but now Boogie, he's in quite a bit of trouble. I'm really surprised Altstyle didn't go for the heal bomb there. It felt like there were a lot of creeps around, and now they use it on OK Psycha, and if he can't get off the Brain Sap, he's gonna fall. NaVi really bringing it out today.
Yeah, that seems like a couple of very costly misplays, both top and bottom right now.
Yeah, and now Seneko is being a right pain to the Alk. NaVi did manage to pick up a bounty rune this time, so
good for him. Yeah, this is aggression top might actually allow Theodora to rotate much faster to the bottom lane.
Yeah. He hit 6 very early, he gets a bottle, he's also good at clarity, so yeah, he wants to come in Sonic Wave, and I think the target of choice is actually not going to be bottom, but NaVi. I think understanding that if they can just shut down the Alchemist, they win the game pretty easily, because if that guy's behind, he makes no game impact.
Yeah, but she chooses to go back top. Interesting.
It's certainly something where she could get a kill up there, and since, she doesn't actually have a TP, I was expecting if she had a TP to go for it. Trixie is also pinging her out, so maybe that signals that they can be more aggressive on bottom, but I don't think it's the time, and in fact the Ice Shard slightly off the mark, but Boogie, they immediately Cold Embrace him. He might just take the damage when this is done, but the Arctic Bone is coming out now. Boogie turning it around with the Rocket Barrage. Seneco's taking a lot of damage, and these are long cooldowns. They need more damage, and Boogie, he goes, he eats his mango, a secondary Rocket Barrage. There is going to be a shallow grave, but do they have the damage they need to attack him down? But instead, he looks like he'll get the TP out. Boogie falls. They've got Trixie coming in. The Wyvern will get the Tusk, but again, is it worth it? Oh. And actually, they get him in base. Cute.
Yeah. Two very nice. I thought that was a very nice sleep to isolate one of the NaVi players, but then again, great shallow grave to turn it around.
So let's say, obviously Gyre right now, Sant and Yasha, really popular. Do you think there's another way? It feels like you're up against a minus Alma strat. Can you do something about that as the Gyre, or do you have to rely on your other teammates, hoping that Alk manages to get his farm up and get something like the AC?
He sort of doesn't have a lot of natural HP, so I don't think he can afford to just go AC. I don't think
after his other items, you just have to wait. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think you would want the Alchemist to do that preferably, but he might be forced into that, or just go for the BKB.
Yeah, maybe a casual Aquila as well to help a little bit before.
Yeah, of course. I think Aquila is going to be a good item here.
Oh,
for sure.
we have a little bit of a rotation. The snowball is coming in. Will there be time? Valix hasn't used the cold embrace yet. The ice shot's actually off the, well, on the mark, but Arctic Bone letting him get over them. So Valix gonna be okay, but now they're pushed super deep onto the tower, and Axmo wants to go for this. We have a Bane rotating again. Immediately the cold embrace the moment he sees Axmo, and they again, as we said, no damage that goes through that, but Valix, its cold embrace is over. Boogie's taking a lot of damage too. The Wyvern is down. Okay, Sia is going to be the target of their aggression now. Has the brain sap, trying to do something to Axmo, but this tower is not helping him out in the slightest. Now it's going after Art Style. Queen of Pain has come on the backlines onto the gyrocopter, and she wants more. Okay, Sia is going down, and NaVi are rolling stock a little bit. I mean, I don't want to call it yet, but NaVi is having the time of their life in this bottom lane.
Is under attack.
Yeah, this is pretty bad, but it's still early game. It's still about 3,000 GPM, XPM. I think when you're in your aggro tri-laning in the dire side, it always looks worse. I mean, it always looks better than it really is on the graph, so they have to be wary about that, not to start making preemptive decisions as they want to try and go on mid.
Yeah, and as they're going in, there's going to be the cold embrace, but a sonic wave from downtown. They are fighting in the acid spray, but I don't think Valix can take advantage of this. Throws out the unstable concoction, and NaVi is trying to walk away. They should be popping these traps right now at Axmo. He's catching up. He uses a Slithering Crush, and with the heal bomb, NaVi is a goner. And now on the backlines, Trixie, he was trying to catch Dendi, but another failed TP. Snowball stopping that. Another trap to help just in case, and Trixie's going to fall as well. All of these rotations from stock just not quite working out.
I think they tried to be a bit aggressive in their movements in the early game, while they should have sort of just stood back. This Alchemist having nothing is really hurting them. I see a Sage's Mask, so maybe he's simply gonna opt to go for the Medallion because he knows he's too late for the Radiance at all.
Yeah, this is an Alk who is the 5th lowest or 5th farmer on the game. I mean, this is not where you expect your Alk to be, and I don't know how viable it is to play the Alk from behind. And by I don't know, I mean, I don't think it's viable.
Yeah, they warded up the big camp too, so they won't be able to stack for a while.
As much as Valix is trying, gonna find that out shortly. And now they're going in onto Axe again. A nice ice shot. NaVi taking a lot of damage. He has popped the unstable concoction, and he manages to get that off. He's turning around, he's healing up with that rage, and will they be able to catch on Dendi? The Arctic Bone slowing him down, but I'm not sure that they have the damage, and they don't have invis detection. A Shallow Grave coming out on Dendi, even though he didn't necessarily need it in the meld strike, but I think they're gonna be A-okay, and Valix flapping away sadly. I mean, it just feels like Stark's rotations are off the mark.
Yeah, but that's why it's sort of quite curious to me, is because what I see a lot of past engagements is that Stark is able to push back the aggression, the initial aggression from NaVi, and then they turn around and like change their okay, we pushed them back into whoops, actually went into them and died.
Yeah, and it's a really weird, as you said, really weird turnaround. They stop the aggression, and instead of just calming down, continuing to farm up, they go for more. But at least Alk is finding some bounty runes somewhere and getting his mana up, despite there being traps all over the place. This is something we haven't talked about. It's not much touched on, and as I say that, Dendi is probably going to get a solo kill. Where's the Nightmare should be coming out. Dendi will have the haste for a little bit of that duration, so even with it coming off of cooldown, he's got refractions up, 6 new ones, and he decides not to dive the tower, seeing the TP. Instead, he's just going to take the creep wave with him. And there are 5 heroes from NaVi in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they really want to make sure nobody's getting anything.
Oh, there's going to be a snowball coming in onto Boogie. There's a Walrus Punch. They're trying to use the... Oh, goodness. Rocket Barrage. Nobody cares about it. Sonic Wave coming out, and Valix is a goner, too. And now it looks like OKC are inevitably going to fall here. There's just too many around. Here, 3 to 15, 10 minutes, 11 minutes into this game. NaVi with almost a 7.5 thousand gold lead and approaching over a 5,000 experience lead.
Yeah, this is turning really ugly, but as I'm mentioning, this is why I thought the lineups were okay at the start, because I thought originally that Stark could just
Dire's top tower is under attack.
be around their own jungle and then defend aggression from out there, but that's not what I've been doing at all. So this is really, really puzzling. I think this is the first time Alchemist has been farming this big camp, and I don't think they have noticed that there's a warrior. That even though I think it's been one or two times. Yeah.
They might not have the resources to deal with it right now, and this is going to be a super early Roshan coming out from Na'Vi. Do you think Stark's only hope? I mean, they've got smokes up on them too. They could potentially try to go for something like that. Even if they kill one hero here, it's going to be a big kill.
But Na'Vi has been grouping up a lot, so I don't know if they'll be able to find somebody. I think it's really up to, like, it's Navi's game to lose. If they don't make any mistakes, I don't think there's anything that Stark can do.
Agreed. And now I think NaVi, despite his bad start, he's got 3k gold up. I feel like he might be trying to go for a super late Radiance, trying to take advantage of a little bit of the space he's been able to get, but I'm not sure it's going to help out in this game. I mean, yeah, that is a way to look at it. Thank you, Alk is clearly not doing well, as you can see, folks. So, I just don't know how you come back into this for Stark.
Well, Trixie's gonna hit level 11 pretty soon. I don't know if they can do something with that wall, but it's a big issue. Winter Wyvern still being 5. Maybe you had level 2 wall, Winter's Curse, as there's an engagement on top.
Yeah, Trixie very luckily on the wrong side of those ice shards, or right for him. So, gonna end up working out Axmo looking around, but I think that this means that the mid tower in a lot of danger of going down.
Yeah. But I feel there's still like a slight chance for Stark if they manage to. Obviously, I think they're gonna at this point gonna have to fight either in their T2s or in their base, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
But you know they still got the huge combos, and as much as bottom lane they have been wrecked, like the Slar still doesn't have Trez. He has a Blink Dagger and an Urn of Shadows. Like they got destroyed bottom, but it's not that much right now.
I do agree with you. It does feel like if they can hold the high ground, which they certainly have wombo combo to do that, they can get back into this. But Dazzle already rocking a medallion. I mean, Na'Vi is big. Seneko almost has his mech up, about 600 gold away from that. Dendi just finished his Deso, and that's when he went for an Aquila and the full treads beforehand, with, of course, that Aegis that he's rocking. Orchid, only a couple hundred gold away for the Queen of Pain. As you said, Blink Dagger already active on Axmo, and they've got 2.5 more minutes on that Aegis. They can afford to waste a little bit of time, or not waste, spend a little bit of time, maybe take the top tower, maybe take a tier 2.
Yeah, they seem to be content for now by just taking away Alchemist as part of the jungle, but he's not really been farming that part, so as he stuns himself, I don't know what he saw there.
I think he was trying to go for Dendi, but just not able to make it work in the situation, and Dendi has more than enough vision with all of these TA traps we see all over the deck.
Yeah, Na'Vi have really big, extensive vision right now.
Yeah, it's something we don't often get to talk about, but with a lot of the other vision nerfs coming out, you know, of course, Bounty Hunters vision got nerfed, Disruptors, Thunderstrike got nerfed as well.
They're trying to go on top, but this is gonna maybe backfire.
Yeah, they're gonna throw the stun out onto Seneko. The vacuum ends up missing because of that. I think they'll get Seneko, but the entire rest of Na'Vi are coming, and they might not actually be able to catch him. He's moving so fast. Alchemist only has boots, being slowed up by the sigil. He has the relic on him, and suddenly Stark realizing they need to get all the way out of here. Trixie is the one who's probably gonna fall, taking a tumble for the rest of his team, and it does get the Alchemist out, but not a good exchange.
Yeah, but this is the epitome of what's been happening this game. I don't feel... You know, what do you gain if you kill that Tusk? I guess you get some goal on the Alchemist, some goal on the Darkseer, but they're both ahead of him in Neth, where it seems like Alchemist has been able to farm somewhat well in the last 5 minutes, and not that much aggression on him, and then they try to do this move, and it just backfires on them when they could be safely farming, I think.
Yeah, 100%. It's just not working out. And Gyrocopter goes down in the bottom lane, a little bit too far out. You have to know at this point that you no longer own the jungle, and that's rough.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to say it's over, but it does feel like Na'Vi slowly but surely is strangling out Stark. 3-17, you know, we've got, as long as Stark doesn't get another kill, we have a chance at that perfect score that we all love so much. For NaVi, I think it's a really safe game. Obviously, they have Deso. They can just make sure that they keep knocking down towers and then get the next Aegis. Oh, we actually have an engagement happening over here. Fiend's Grip on Axmo. Can they get the kill? Axmo, he's got oh goodness, there's going to be a Sonic Wave coming from above. Scream, almost finishing off the call down. Axmo, can he go down to the Rocket Barrage? One last auto attack will get it. They're also now working on Deecher Raw, but has lots of ways to get out of this, including a Blink, including the Shallow Grave. The Wyvern goes down on the side, and now Boogie, they want to work in on him. Dendy is around, but is telling his team, it looks like, to say back out. Trixie's coming over, and he may have some more for us, but instead they turn right around. NaVi is behind them all, goes to throw out his stun, ends up throwing it on DJ Raw, but he's put in the snowball life save, and now NaVi and Boogie need to retreat, but NaVi, he's gonna fall. Boogie trying to get out, and an ultra kill for DJ Raw.
As the fight was breaking on over here, at the bottom lane, you can see the wall was expensed. They were trying to go on Dendy with NaVi and Trixie. Which seemed, like, again, really hard. Like, why would you, like, try... I feel like this game, they've tried to kill the TA so many times and then fail.
Yeah, she's not an easy kill. I understand why they're doing it, right? They know that she's really rich right now, but TA and Quap, without that Fiend's Grip, they're not the heroes you're going to catch. And there are much easier ones on the map that they could maybe... I mean, it's not ideal, but smoking and getting the Slaughter, smoking and getting even the Dazzle or the Tusk, you have to be happy with that where you are in this game.
And they were doing that as their team was struggling to fight just a little bit higher than them in like, around the camps.
Radiant's bottom
Just some questionable moves all around.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to be having another engagement potentially up top. NaVi getting ready to throw out that stun. They've got the Fiend's Grip onto Seneko, and this might finally get them another kill. The snowball does come out, and it looks like they're thinking about regoosing on Axmo, but that would be a very deep way to dive. Seneko going down, just going to take a while because of the mech, and Stalk getting themselves a kill.
Yeah, that's the type of player kill they should have tried to get the whole beginning of the game, but at the same time, I feel like Star, for a while, they've just been like, okay, we're so behind that we actually have to make something happen, and they didn't necessarily do.
Yeah. And it's still a big kill, but of course, unfortunately, not easy. And now they're going to find Artstyle, burning the Winter's Curse for that, but again, I think it is worth it, and they have gotten a killing spree, because Artstyle had one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So, well done there for the lineup of Stock, getting a few quick kills in succession. There's still probably 12,000 when this settles down, 12,000 gold, and over 10,000 experience behind.
Yeah, this feels a little bit too late. A few too late situation.
Now, we did discuss they do have good high ground defense. They have a Radiance when they want it up on Alchemist. There he goes, buys the recipe. Yes, it's a very late Radiance, but at the same time, you take what you can get, and anything to buy them time.
If you see that in the camp, the Sentry Ward is barely just out of range of the ward, so they don't see it. That's very unfortunate for Start.
Yeah. So they're going to most likely... Oh, they're actually thinking about coming in to save this bottom tower. Not sure if it's the right call. There's a lot of members of NaVi in the area, but OKC really wants to get off that Fiend's Grip, but it turns nighttime, and Nendy turns around, not quite able to one-shot him. The immediate cold embrace to try and stop this initiation, but they don't have ult, and the Sonic Wave just wipes Bane off of the map. No Winter's Curse coming out for a while, and the rest of the heroes that they would need not there, and Dendy's just gonna rip them all apart. Trixie taking quite a bit of damage as well, but instead it's going to be Boogie who is the target of their aggression, and now Trixie, they're going to start working on him. He surges away, NaVi's coming in, you're trying to use his Radiance to help out, but instead they're all going to fall, and now Seneko has time to work in on NaVi. He doesn't have Snowball for 5 more seconds, but they may just hop into his fountain, and that one hit almost killing him off, and this opens them up. They can take the tier 2, probably not just because the respawn timers are so short right now, take the tier 3, but Stock, not in a good spot at all.
Yeah, that was just a puzzling move by OKC. He was, quite frankly, way out of position for the aggression again. Trying to defend that bottom tier 2, which is probably one of the worst the top dire and the bottom Union towers are the worst towers to defend as NaVi
Yeah.
gets gone on.
Yep, and it looks like there's going to be a nice Winter's Curse onto Axmo, but they put him in the Snowball instead. A huge heal bomb takes out the Alk, and now they don't have buyback on either of those heroes. A beautiful Fiend's Grip, but immediately the Shallow Grave coming out. DJ Raw at a slither of health. He's not going to go down. Blinks out of the wall, and even Dendy is fine. Maybe they can send their illusions after them, but it's not looking like they're getting any work done being affected by that sigil, and another good team fight engagement for NaVi. They're just taking all of these.
Every time somebody's a little bit too out, like in front, and then he gets caught. It's been the story of the game, just being out of position from start.
Yeah. Now, they do still have their tier 3 tower, and they have at least another few opportunities to try getting their wombo combos off. Maybe, arguably, a saving grace of the fact that NaVi is so big is the fact that when you make illusions of them with your wall, they're also going to be big, the illusions. So maybe that's something.
Yeah, I think you're up to that
I'm trying
point.
to be positive here. I'm trying to be positive. When you're casting, you're not meant to say that it's over. You're not meant to look at the gold graph and go, wow, the odds on you coming back for this are dropping below 5%. I believe in professional games or something, and. Trying to stay positive. It looks like they're trying to have NaVi maybe commit to this, see if they can use him as a bait to farm, but there it comes. Slaughter immediately going out. Sonic Wave as well. They need something to help him out. They immediately Nightmare him and the Cold Embrace, and he's actually farming pretty well with the Radiance there. But it's going to be Roshan time for the rest of NaVi, and they are happy about that. 1.5. Wow. I thought saying it was under 5% was low, but no, I was not wrong.
I think they're completing Roshan as we speak. Make things even worse.
This is. I was so excited to cast NaVi, and they are just stomping. Doc. I was hoping, for an even game, a bit of back and forth, but it's looking really hard. We do have a smoke coming out for the lineup. Oh, and they have a good chance of going in on Den. They just use that blink. They go for the Fiend's Grip immediately. Acid Spray has been put down. Splinter Blast as well. They do have the Winter's Curse, so they could use that as well, but there is the Shallow Grave coming up. Dendy will have to pass through this wall, so maybe that's something. Can his illusion work in on him? But they drop the cooldown to basically no effect, and they still have the Winter's Curse. Wyvern is silenced up, though, and he goes down before being able to use it. Seneko is burning away, and Dendy, the refraction charges. When will they finally be gone? But no, nobody's over there to deal with those. So Bane has gone down, Wyvern is down, and a huge slithering crush on all three of them. There is an acid spray on the deck, but it is not damaging anyone. And Dendy, he's back in, and he doesn't care. He's gonna take a full rocket brush, but he's still in there at 30 health, and even if he went down here, he has an Aegis, so he might finally burn down. Aegis gone, but only NaVi is alive. Another snowball in, and I think he's gonna fall too. So it's gonna be the tier 2 mid, and maybe the game, whenever, maybe.
Yeah, again, I don't know, start being aggressive on an Aegis TA and it burns them for yet another occasion. There are points of aggression and have been puzzling to say the least.
Either way, this is a best of 3, and Stark has another opportunity as the Bane goes down. Valak's also silenced up, isn't going to get off a Winter's Curse today. If they could just Winter's Curse someone and have Dendy rip them apart, they might have a chance, but they finally call GG. We'll be headed into game 2. It was a bit one-sided, but hopefully the next one is going to be awesome.
These kind of the games happen all the time. I think even in TI we see completely one-sided, and then Stark might take the best of 3, so
yeah.
It's one game.
Now, with that, guys, once again, thank you all for watching. This is Starladder I-League Series 13. We're going to be having, as I said, it's a best of 3. This is the last set of the day, but please, we had Corrupt Drop there on stats. Show him your love. That's his